Matters. The Federal High Court in Abuja has directed the Prosecution Counsel in the trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to ensure all relevant documents intended for trial are served on the defense team before being tendered in court. Celestine Area has details.
At the resumed hearing, the court took a firm stance on trial procedures following confusion over legal representation and tensions surrounding courtroom conduct. A letter from one Charles Ude, claiming to be Mr. Kanu's lawyer, sparked the court's concern, but lead defense counsel Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria, disassociated the team from Ude's claim, with Kanu affirming that Agabi remains his official legal representative. In a bid to maintain order, the presiding judge stressed that only 16 counsel out of the 26 listed will be recognized in court. The court also addressed a past infraction involving Favor Kanu, a relative of Mr. Kanu, who had recorded court proceedings in violation of directives. The court revealed she had also posted the content online. Mr. Kanu appealed for leniency on her behalf. The judge, however, barred her from attending the next 3 sittings. The trial continued with the cross-examination of the first prosecution witness, identified as AAA. The witness admitted to being unaware that several terrorism charges against Mr. Kanu had been struck out by the court. He also lacked knowledge of the current status of many of the original 15-count charges. The second prosecution witness, identified as BBB, testified that he was assigned by the Attorney General of the Federation to investigate Mr. Kanu. He described the defendant as the operator of Radio Biafra and the founder of the Eastern Security Network. Attempts by the prosecution to tender a letter authorizing the witness' investigation met stiff resistance from Mr. Gabi, who objected on the grounds that the documents were not front-loaded. The prosecution later withdrew the document, and the court granted the withdrawal. The trial also saw disagreement over the admissibility of video evidence presented by the prosecution, which Mr. Kanu himself opposed. The court ordered that all materials intended for trial must be served in advance and listed properly, stressing that no document to be admitted unless previously disclosed to the defense. On a separate issue, the prosecution said it has filed a motion for the release of certain items already tendered as exhibits. The court directed that the motion must be refiled, with each exhibit explicitly identified and properly referenced. While the prosecution expressed readiness to proceed with the trial for 3 consecutive days as previously planned, Mr. Agabi requested an adjournment to allow for client consultation. The matter was adjourned to May 7 for the continuation of trial, specifically for the examination in chief of the second witness. Celestina Area, TVC.
Breaking news. BLA to resist Tinubu's convoy as he plans to visit Anambra State while he remains banned in Biafra territory. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today is the 36th of May 2025, and I have breaking information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people, the Biafra Liberation Army will have no any other reason if not to mount a serious resistance against the convoy of Tinubu from accessing any part of Biafra land, as his cohort Soludo are now planning to invade the former Anambra State. So I don't want to talk too much. I will first of all read the news in details and again remind us that Tinubu and his cohorts in Asorok, Abuja, have all been banned from entering into any part of Biafra land, and that very ban is still intact. That very ban has not been removed. it has not been lifted. He remains banned from entering any part of Biafran land, especially for now, until Nnamdi Kanu is released, Mazi Simon Ekpa released, Biafra freed. If he remains the president of the zoo, we can start having bilateral, relationships and all that. So without further ado, let me first of all read the news from Sahara Reporters, one of the zoo media platforms, and then I will talk to us, because for this very case, we have to discuss. And according to their title, they said, Nigeria Police, DSS orders heightened security as Tinubu visits Anambra State Thursday. Today is Tuesday, and this very Thursday is just around the corner. The Anambra State Security Chiefs convened on Monday, May 5, in a marathon closed-door meeting aimed at strengthening security arrangements for the presidential visit. Security agencies in Anambra State have intensified preparations ahead of President Bola Tinubu's scheduled visit to the state on Thursday, May 8, 2025, amid heightened concerns over recent security challenges in the region. The Anambra State Security Chiefs convened on Monday, 5 May, in a marathon closed-door meeting aimed at strengthening security arrangements for the presidential visit. Now, before moving forward, because we have a lot of information concerning this very latest development, I want to remind every one of you that the protest scheduled to take place on the 9th of May 2025 is just around the corner. It's on the horizon. Therefore, every Biafran who are eligible to travel to Helsinki, Finland to partake on this very protest is advised to prepare him or herself. It will be very, very shameful that you have opportunity to travel to participate on this very protest, and yet you refuse to go and support our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Maybe you are waiting for somebody to give you order, or maybe you don't like the source where the news is coming from. But I have said it time without number that Biafra Unite is not the one organizing this very protest. Rather, Biafrans in Finland and some of them in Europe are the ones who have come together and asked themselves very important question: what are we going to do for our Prime Minister? And they decided to organize this very protest. So every Biafran, irrespective of where you are, as long as you have eligible traveling documents, you are advised to come and participate on this very protest, because our Prime Minister will be very, very disappointed at all of us should we abandon him only for him and his lawyers to do the job. While we have been protesting, showing love for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with our Monday sit at home for the past 4 going to 5 years now. So why should we abandon Mazi Simon Ekpa just alone? Biafrans, think about it. The protest on that very day will go a long way to persuade the hands that be in Finland to free our Prime Minister, because they know the sound, they know, the benefit, they know what it takes, they know the importance of protest. When people gather to protest, that means they are telling the government what you are doing is not beneficial. We don't like it. You are suppressing and oppressing us. That is the meaning. So the government has to rethink. And when you abandon your Prime Minister, that means you have left him behind. So that means whatever he's been accused of, there's an atom of truth on whatever that he's been accused by the zoo government. That's why his people have abandoned him. So we must gather in Helsinki, Finland, to show solidarity to our Prime Minister. And now the number on your screen, which is inquiry number for Finland protest for the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa, please call +358 4024 36561. This is the official number to call for any inquiry moving forward. Now let's get back into the news. The high-level meeting, which lasted 5 hours, brought together heads of key security agencies who provided detailed briefings and developed a comprehensive security plan. The deliberation focused on reviewing current intelligence reports, assessing threat levels, and implementing fortified security measures within Awka, the state capital, and other strategic locations across the state. According to SP Tochukwu Ikenga, the public relations officer of the Anambra State Police Command, particular emphasis was placed on joint operational deployment, coordinated patrols, surveillance strategies, and inter-agency collaboration. The session also addressed contingency planning to ensure a swift response to any potential security breaches during the visit. Agencies in attendance included the Nigeria Police Force, Department of State Services DSS, Nigeria Army, Nigeria Navy, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, and the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Security, Air Vice Marshal Ben Chiobi, retired. Ikenga, in a statement issued after the meeting, assured the public of the security agency's commitment. Security agency's commitment. The zoo security agency's commitment against the Biafran people, especially Igbo Biafrans. The only commitment of Nigerian security agencies against Igbo Biafrans is all about unaliving them, to massacre them en masse, to shoot at sight. This is the only commitment. So therefore, I am using this opportunity to warn every family in Biafra territory, as long as you're a Biafran living here in Biafra, especially in Anambra State, I want to let you know that this so-called occasion of visitation of a man that have put all of us, that put our lives in danger, that have neglected all of us, that have put us in this quagmire where we are today, you are not in anywhere allowed to attend such occasion, because this occasion is not meant for you. That very day should be sit at home ASAP. It's quite unfortunate that some idiots who claim to be leaders in Biafra movement have all, face solugo go manyani mafia. Quite unfortunate, because our prime minister is no longer free at the moment. That's all this nonsense is happening. Some of them nyala here and there. Burobo bafa. Nyalo bafa nisi, nyalo bafa nazo na everywhere. I am this, I am that. Why? They are absolutely nothing. Nothing. I am telling you, they are nothing, because they are doing nothing. Okafane buwankita. Isn't a bifa, make ifa. Now, the only thing they know is just to come and talk nonsense on social media, claiming to be this and that. He stated, this comprehensive security approach reflects the commitment of the Anambra State security architecture to guaranteeing the safety of the visiting president, dignitaries, and citizens, while sustaining peace and stability across the state. The heightened security measures come against the backdrop of recent incidents of violence and attacks attributed to the unknown government in Anambra State and other parts of the southeast region. There have been sporadic attacks in the state and the region which have raised fears among residents. The release said, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, whose activities were prohibited by former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, has also been linked by authorities to rising insecurity in the southeast region. There is absolutely nothing they can do without mentioning IPOB. Or if I do a Kaliafa. Or if Biafrans do a Kaliafa. There is nothing they can do without mentioning IPOB, because they fear. They fear. The group has consistently distanced itself from any criminal activities in the region or anywhere in the country. In response to the security challenges, the Anambra State government and security agencies have increased joint operations, including raids on criminal hideouts and intensified patrols in flashpoint areas. The presidential visit is expected to feature key engagements, including the commissioning of infrastructure projects and meetings with political and community leaders. Security agencies have urged the public to cooperate with law enforcement during the period, adhere to movement restrictions where necessary, and report suspicious activities to relevant authorities. You see, this is just a threat. In case you don't know, my people, let me tell you, this is a threat that security agencies have urged the public to cooperate with law enforcement during the period, to cooperate with law enforcement, adhere to movement restrictions where necessary. Adhere, meaning if you do not adhere, I am telling all Igbo families to make sure that they lock down Anambra State that very day on Thursday. Lock down completely. Lock down so that even if they will be engaged, even if their convoy will be engaged, so none of Igbo Biafrans in Anambra State, or should I say nobody in Anambra State, will pay the price. No innocent citizen in Anambra State will pay the price. So everybody must sit at home. I am advising you to sit at home because I believe that will be the best way to follow this very, issue. Now, Tinubu remains banned to enter into the territories of Biafra land. He remains banned till further notice. So, of course, the men of the Biafra Liberation Army knows exactly what they can do, and they know that Tinubu remains banned from entering into Biafra land. So I'm not going to tell them what to do during that very day. So thank you, my people. To salo numozia and make it go viral. Breaking news. Zoo government has finally brought evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, and the items will leave you in shock. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel/television this very moment. Today's date is 30th of April 2025, and I have some video clips and other information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. The government of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, has finally brought evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I'm going to show you their evidences and analyze them in full detail. So as you can see on your screen, we have a video. But before playing this very video, I will first of all go back and read the details, or should I say the publication made by a zoo media platform, and then we will come back to play the video for you. So you must stick around till the very end of this very broadcast that you may be able to watch the video in full. So moving forward, my people, you can see the headline on your screen, which is the inquiry number for Finland protest for the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. Please call +358 40 243 6561. I repeat, +358 40 243 6561. This is the only official number that you can call to get all the information that you need concerning this very all-important protest that Biafrans in Finland are, organizing. And I want to call on all Biafrans all over the world, especially those in Europe, America, and some part of Asia that have eligible documents to travel out of your comfort zone. Please make it worth a while. You all have seen what is going on. You have seen what is happening here in Biafra land. You have seen how the zoo terrorists in military uniform is taking over everywhere, having field play here in Biafra land. You can see how Fulani terrorists in the name of headsmen are ravaging everywhere, invading our communities in Enugu State and Ebonyi State, taking over the land as well. It is because men are no longer men. So everybody must make sure that this very all-important protest is a hit, because we need to send message to Finnish authority that this man you are holding is innocent. People only run away from a bad person when they are in trouble. But when you are a good person, nobody runs away from you, especially when you are a leader. So somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa will not be in this kind of situation, and then Biafrans will leave him behind, only for him and his lawyers. It's a shame, actually. For the past 6 months, it's a big shame. If you're not ashamed, I'm ashamed. You call yourself a Biafran, And we haven't done anything in the physical realm where everybody can see, where Finland can see, apart from the few minutes march that took place after the declaration of Biafra. It's a big shame to us. All over the world, it's a big shame. Everybody's keeping quiet, leaving Mazi Simon Ekpa with his lawyer alone. It's a big shame. Why we have been protesting with sit at home for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the past 4 to 5 years. Oh my goodness me. So please, my brothers and sisters, my fellow Biafrans, we must make sure that this very protest is a hit. Wherever you are, rise up. It's not for me. It's not for any government. It's not for anybody you are following. It is strictly for Mazi Simon Ekpa. Strictly for Mazi Simon Ekpa. Whether you like me or not, you can even throw me in the garbage, throw me in the dustbin. It doesn't matter. Just attend the protest for our Prime Minister. Only that, I'm okay. Thank you. Let us go back into the news. And as you can see on your screen, I will be reading this news from People's Gazette, one of the Zoo media platforms. Federal government tenders evidence against Nnamdi Kanu in alleged terrorism charge. The federal government on Tuesday tendered some evidence in the alleged terrorism charge filed against Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The evidence were tendered by the federal government lawyer Adewega Awomolo San before Justice James Omotosho through the first prosecution witness and a state security service operative identified as PWAAA POA. The witness, who told the court that he had served for about 18 years in service, said he was assigned with some team members to arrest Mr. Kanu at the Golden Tulip Hotel in Lagos. He gave his testimony behind the protective shield. In the evidence presented before the court, video recording of Mr. Kanu's interrogation by SSS operatives was played in the open court, and the statement he made on October 15, 2015 was also read, where he admitted establishing Radio Biafra in London and registered it in London, which is okay. Remember, we are talking about evidences presented by the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. Pay attention, you are going to be amazed. In the statement read out in the open court, Mr. Kanu said he was interrogated by the SSS without the presence of his lawyer as required by law, because the zoo is a lawless country. The IPOB leader, in the documentary evidence, admitted not registering the radio station with the National Broadcasting Commission because he felt there was no need for it. There was no need for it because, first of all, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not base in Nigeria. He is not, conducting his broadcasting activities in Nigeria. He based in London, and he is a British citizen. So he registered the radio station in London. He doesn't have to register it in all countries of the world. The world has gone far. The world has evolved. The world has moved out from the, analog system to a digital system. We are now in a digital world. So a lot of things have changed. We have internet. I can make my broadcast here and upload it here, and it will be received all over the world. So I don't have to go to all countries to start registering, my platform. It doesn't work that way. We are now in a global village. This is what Fulani does not understand. Now, in his statement, he admitted fighting for emancipation of the people of the Southeast, South, and parts of Benue and Kogi states. Mr. Kanu, who stated that freedom fighting is not a crime in any part of the world, including Nigeria, said it is a fundamental right. A fundamental right. The inalienable right of everybody and every, oppressed people to fight for their emancipation, for their liberation, for their freedom. It is there, both in the United Nations Charter and African Charter for Peoples and Human Rights. It is there, Article 20. Read from 1, 2, and 3 on human and people's rights. It is there. You have the right to fight for your freedom. And the zoo is signatory to this very law. So therefore, it is domesticated here in the zoo law, in the laws of the zoo, because they are signatory not just for the African Charter, but also for the United Nations Charter. So don't tell me any other thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a well-read person and he is highly educated. It is his fundamental right to fight for his emancipation. Now, he continued. He claimed not to be involved in any violence because he had not been linked with any. 4 suitcases recovered from Mr. Kanu in his hotel room in 2015 were brought to the courtroom and displayed. 4 suitcases recovered from Mr. Kanu in his hotel room in 2015 were brought to the courtroom and displayed. Let's know 4 suitcases. Now we want to know what is inside these suitcases. We want to know maybe they package AK-47 inside it or something like that, and he came with it, or he came with them from UK. He passed through the airport both in the UK and in Lagos, and they were not able to see AK-47 assault rifle. Let's see. The suitcase or the suitcases contained personal belongings. Personal belongings. The suitcases contained personal belongings, and I'm reading from a Zoo Media, not from a Biafran platform. Listen, the suitcases contained personal belongings of the defendant, especially the Radio Biafra equipment. You see, they say especially the Radio Biafra equipment. How did you know that these equipments are from or for Radio Biafra? How did you know? Now, Mr. Kanu's lawyer, Mr. Kanu Agabi, did not object to tendering them, and Justice Omotosho admitted and marked them as exhibits in the trial. Now, let me show you the equipment they are talking about. My fellow Biafrans, this is the equipment, the microphone and the laptop, which is normal for every human being. The microphone and laptop are the equipment they are talking about. Equipment. While we have watched series of videos where white people are dropping arms and food, arms and ammunitions plus food to Boko Haram in the Sambisa forest, we have watched several videos, so many videos where they are dropping arms to Boko Haram in Sambisa forest, and they are not talking about it. Last time such comment was made in the Senate, they said there was no evidence to prove that that thing happened in Nigeria because Boko Haram is also in Chad and Niger. That was what they said. They play politics with the lives of those that they claim they are, leading. They play politics with Zugerians. You see, this is the equipment. This is the equipment, microphone and laptop. That is the exhibit. The exhibit. This is unbelievable. So my people, I want to play the video for you, and so this is the video, and I want you to watch it. So my people, and make it go viral.
The matter is very simple. The state has a case against our client, and we are defending him. And for the first time, the matter has been opened, and we have heard what the evidence is. On Friday, we are coming back to cross-examine him. But in the main, the matter has commenced on a good note, very sound note, very civilized trial. And I will hope by the grace of God we'll continue on this note and get to the end.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we have not woken up to understand that you cannot just arrest people because they have equipment on them. When the interview was going on, the leader of IPOB was mentioning in that particular interview that he was just broadcasting, telling the world about what the British government is doing. And there's nothing wrong with him telling the world that we deserve our rights and we deserve what is in London over here. To be treated fairly, to have what they have, whatever they enjoy, we need to enjoy it in this country.
For the first time in about 10 years, Nnamdi Kanu's case has made headways. The federal government called its first witness today, and they say they have about 5 more witnesses to call. For a matter that has been granted accelerated hearing, Nigerians are eager to know what will be the outcome of this case. Chibuzo Okezie, AIT News, Abuja.
All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Let's Talk TV. As we all know, As we all know, a lot has actually happened today concerning the court hearing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Okuchukwu Kanu. Yes, a lot has actually gone today. And with how the court hearing went, you've actually heard the news, with the pattern in which it ended. Tomorrow is another day for the continuation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. Remember, it's a 3-day direct case, straight up. So by next tomorrow, we'll be having, a conclusion on the case, and a judgment will be given. And we are hoping and we are optimistic that the judgment will come in favor of Mazi Okuchukwu Kanu, an innocent man, a prisoner of conscience, a man who did not commit any crime known, by law, both local and international law. The zoo trying to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu against his will, unlawfully, after being adopted. So that is that on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing. You've heard everything. They brought in a witness, BBB, a so-called witness, BBB, and at the end, the witness was as confused as the zoo economy. You know that the zoo economy is confused also. So the witness, BBB, was as confused as the zoo economy. Now, let us go further into the issue. There will be a critical seat at home, in the southeastern part of the country, to resist the entrance of the president, the illegitimate president of the animal kingdom, Nigeria. Well, he might be a legitimate, it's none of our business, but the reality is that there will be a seat at home to resist his coming. He is coming into Biafran land, and Biafran has rejected Tinubu. Why have they rejected Tinubu? They've rejected anybody who has contributed to the paying of innocent people in Biafran land. So we will keep on resisting a man who has contributed only paying in Biafran land. So whatever you are, you've heard the information. That is why I had to start the video with that particular information for those of you who have the attitude of not watching video to the end. So if you're watching to this point, you have to do the needful. And what is the needful? The needful is to make sure that you remain resolute, and also ready yourself to obey this instruction as Biafrans. Thank God, these days, we hardly get an issue of sit at home. So when there is a sit at home, it will be critical. And after this particular sit at home, the next sit at home will be to celebrate our heroes. Yes, we are hoping and preparing for that, because it will be a total standstill. But like I said, we pray and we wish that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be here with us come May 31st, I think 31st or 30th, when we'll be celebrating our past heroes who have contributed for the freedom of Biafra. Now, so it be for my mouth. Once again, I want to thank you, for joining us throughout today as we were able to bring all the news and informations happening in Biafran territory, and also concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial. We will do more tomorrow. We'll bring more news. We'll bring more information on the continuous trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, hoping that tomorrow will be a better day. And also, for those of you who have been supporting us with super chat, super sticker, please do more, send us more, so that we will continue to support this great movement, as the case may be. Send us, more super chat as it is hot.